I'm also kind of surprised that NightMare decided, you know what? If that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing. No ramps in the natural. Let's go. As we spawn on into our first map of our second semifinals. All right, it's a semifinals. We can get predictions.
Sure.
So, yeah, get that going. As we load on in here into Neo Humanity, where, of course, in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Abydos. He is NightMare.
I like how back in the day you used to fill to make it longer, but now you just speak slower. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Z Gaming going for his natural in a very forward location. It is Dark.
I can't fill anymore, otherwise Ryan comes out.
True. You speak too much and then he'll slip on out, and no one wants that.
Yeah.
Gotta keep him
locked
up.
In, contained, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't catch him slipping.
Keep him tied up in that harness.
In the harness.
As this is what I was expecting to come out from Ragnarok, if you recall. You know, this forward base is quite common, especially if we have a more aggressive Zerg player, and of course Dark fits that mold. Does take the forward base. With this, you can launch your creep across the map. You can also take the Rich Recipe Gas Geyser. This does lend towards Queen Roach pushes, and I'm sure NightMare is fully aware of that.
Yeah, he's gone for the probe scout, and he should have seen the unnatural natural. If he hasn't, then he should as his probe returns home, or if an adept makes its way across the map. Like we normally expect, NightMare is checking all of the possible base positions, and now he knows, or he should anyway.
Yeah, he has seen that hatchery being thrown down, so he's fully aware of its location. Back at home, we're just setting up as we normally should. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a Stargate opener in towards that third base, but we'll see how NightMare mixes things up as he does go for a proxy pylon. Uh-oh.
Oh, fight forward with forward. I like it.
Yeah, bold move here from NightMare. I'm very curious to see how this goes down and what he proxies as well. Is it going to be a proxy Stargate? It's such a bold move if he goes for it, and it will be a gateway.
Yeah, to be expected. Gonna be waiting around quite some time for a Stargate to finish up and to get units there. The Adept! Shaded out at the exact wrong time. And so, while it's only two Lings that slip into NightMare's base, they are two Lings that have a lot of potential behind them. One probe already went down, and now Dark is going for the full scout. I guess there isn't that much to see over here, but seeing 3 gateways here and only 1 pylon is a little bit of a tell.
This is a massive tell for Dark. He sees the additional gateways. He sees the lack of Twilight Council, the lack of Stargate as well. He now knows that NightMare is going for a 2-base all-in. And this is going to be a 5-gate all-in coming out from NightMare. But again, Dark is aware.
And he's looking to punish that. He knows that it's coming, but he also knows that there's a very slim window here where NightMare won't actually be able to push out just yet. So he's trying to deal some counter damage, but now that that's been shut down, Dark should just be focusing entirely on his defense back home. Roach Warren gets thrown down now, but Lings are going to be what he needs to defend.
Also, this isn't just 5 gates. He threw down an extra one. It is going to be a 6-gate all-in. No Twilight Council, but it looks like Dark, he hasn't quite spotted the proxy location yet, but he's aware because this is where the adepts are coming from.
Yeah, he has an idea of what's coming for him. Kind of like these fake out shades, but after the first time, I guess it did get really obvious. And now that shade is on cooldown, every single one of these steps is going to get surrounded, and they are all going to go down. 18 Lings are in the production tab to shut down the proxy and make their way across the map to just Yeah, reciprocate the I say reciprocate the damage, but NightMare hasn't actually been able to deal any damage yet.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Damage has yet to be done. Really, NightMare is hurting. The surround is real once again, and Dark is shutting this down. We do commit to the shade, but there is nothing to kill. There's no saturation at the natural. Dark has cut workers because he knows about the all-in.
It's always the worst feeling when you knock down the door and no one's home.
It's just really awkward when that happens, you know? Like you've got all this bravado and gravitas, you knock down the door, here's Johnny, and there's no one there. It's, oh, okay.
I got the wrong address, yeah.
This is, did Google Maps send me the wrong way? What happened? Where's where are the people that I'm supposed to kill? What's going on?
I make a type? Oh, I made a typo in the postal code. Ah, I'm supposed to be on the other side of town.
There you go, there you go. Well, as the adepts are being shut down, the proxy location likewise is being depowered. Dark is not going to be going for a counterattack, and I do think this makes plenty of sense. He's going to be droning instead. He doesn't have a lair, he doesn't have roach speed, doesn't want to throw this away.
Yeah, he's still playing this out fairly safe considering how well it's been going for him, but now that the adepts have shaded back home, there is nothing stopping Dark. He's even knocking down this debris in the middle of the map just to make sure his reinforcements are able to punish NightMare that much quicker.
As NightMare, he just keeps warping into depths, and I don't blame him. I mean, this is getting a little bit scary. NightMare is still all in on 2 bases. He's going to be transitioning into Immortal production. We have a Robotics Bay for 4 Disruptors as well. So NightMare is going to be very committed here, and Dark has to be careful not to be caught with his pants down. He's still just droning as much as he can, but he is cutting workers here at 48.
I definitely appreciate NightMare trying to be a little bit cheeky with his adepts, trying to fake out shades to keep Dark back at home, but at a certain point, that's not going to cut it. Dark didn't even turn around when those shades completed because he knew he had more than enough reinforcements back home. The Lings somehow managed to slip in. They are super lubricated Lings, and they do get a surround on that Stalker.
Yeah, the Lings are lubed up. They slip into the natural base. Biles will connect onto the shield battery on the pylon as well. The pylon barely survives with 1 HP, but 1 more Bile is enough to bring it down. That will depower that Robo. Oof.
A little bit of a Narcosis pylon over there, but thankfully a backup pylon was in production. Not going to be enough, though, to save anything from the onslaught of Lings and Ravagers. So many Biles just connected on everything back there.
Yeah, great surround on both Immortals as well. The Immortals will go down. It looks like in a couple of seconds the Disruptor will pop, and that can do a lot of damage, but look at how many workers have fallen as the Biles will connect, and the Disruptor goes down immediately.
Oof. GG is called, and Dark will take a fairly solid game number 1. That was almost depressing to watch here. As NightMare did everything he could to try to keep Dark back, but each and every time, Dark just had an answer to the aggression.
GG, well played. I mean, a lot of it did come down to the Ling Scout, right? Like, NightMare just happened to shade at the wrong moment. The 2 Lings slip in, and they see everything in the main base. They see the lack of Stargate, the lack of Twilight Council, and they see the additional gateways. And that is enough of a tell for Dark to realize that something is wrong, something is amiss. Shout out to NightMare, though, because we very rarely get to see 2 base, 6 gate all-ins like that, but it's really risky, and it is heavily reliant on keeping it hidden.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate seeing something quite different coming out from NightMare here. It is extremely rare seeing 6 gate 2 base all-ins, and it's even more rare to see him work out.
That's true.
As we just saw.
You're not wrong, Papi. You are not wrong. As we are going to be getting into game number 2 here. Of course, our Zerg player has a lead in this series, but we can always come back. We can always force the ace match, but I'm waiting in anticipation. I want to see the proxy hatch. Give it to us, Papi. Give it to us.
It is the map to whip it out on, which is why I don't think Dark's gonna be that predictable here. But I hope he will be, as we load into game number 2 here on Royal Blood. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have our blue Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea. This is, of course, going to be representing Abydos without Clan Team Envy this time. He is, he's above the need for waifus here. He is NightMare.
And
I guess lack of waifus is the biggest nightmare.
True, true. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Dragon Kaizi Gaming. It is Dark.
Who goes for a base back at home? Which is good. But, yeah, it's... I was hoping for the proxy hatch as well, but, you know, I do think at this point it's a little bit too predictable for Dark to whip it out on Royal Blood. It is the map that he's done it consistently on, no matter who he's up against for the past couple of weeks. Maybe Ancient Cistern, if we get there.
Oh, I mean, I want to believe that Dark is saving it for the finals, I think.
Oh, he's gonna whip it out 5 games in a row in the finals.
True. We shall see, as we just have a typical hatch gas pool here from Dark, nothing too crazy, and I guess our eyes should be on NightMare because he was the one to do something crazy in game 1. He was the one who was trying to go into that all-in and trying to catch Dark off guard.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Dark is harnessed. He's always on guard.
Yeah, Dark.
Does that apply?
To what?
To a harness.
He's always strapped in, you know. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
He's prepared. Doesn't go anywhere with
all situations. Yeah.
Oh my god, as we do have the Stargate thrown down, so a standard opener this time from NightMare makes sense. After a failed cheese, we do have to just calm down a little bit and return to normalcy. As this happens as well, we do see NightMare just trying to be a little bit annoying, forcing a delay on that natural base, but won't be tempting fate as the Adept will show up in time. Oh.
Yeah, chase down these Lings. And NightMare's getting a pretty long delay here on the third base of Dark. Or he's forcing a pretty long delay here on the third base of Dark. He even throws down the second pylon. We're waiting for that.
Oh, we have been waiting. We do have a second Adept coming out as well. The first one does get a drone kill. Not too bad here from NightMare, wreaking a lot of havoc. Will he be able to cancel in time? Looks like he will. Just barely.
Just barely. As the Adept tries to get a little bit more damage here, but Dark is very quick to chase that down.
And now
Ball is now more in Dark's favor, as he has secured his map control, and he is going to be looking to delay NightMare's economy while he just drones up back at home, or at least we hope he drones up back home.
Yeah, Dark's third base has been heavily delayed, but likewise, these Lings will make it a little bit difficult for NightMare to expand. The first Oracle is going to be zooming across the map and will not be at home to help defend that third, so NightMare just going to have to stay on these 2 bases a little bit longer. He does have a decent Adept count though, so he should be able to tango and go toe-to-toe with these Lings.
Yeah. He's strapped in the dance. But not quite to get surrounded. That was a little bit of a miscalculation there of timing that shade from NightMare.
Yeah, one Adept does go down. The Lings do delay the third base a little bit, but they are going to be forced all the way back. NightMare will get his third base up and running, and behind this we have our transition. Twilight Council is on the way. NightMare only goes up to 2 Oracles.
Yeah, he's not doing anything too insane, like Creator in game number 2 against Solar. He dips in, he one-shots a couple of drones. Oh, but this is a very precarious position. 1 Oracle array goes down, thanks to the flanking Queen, and the other one takes a bit of hull damage as well. Huge risk here for NightMare. He was able to take out 5 drones, which isn't too bad, but losing the Oracle still hurts. This other Oracle is very low on energy. If there was a counter-harass coming his way, I highly doubt he'd be able to defend. Thankfully, Dark isn't working on that yet.
Yeah, thankfully, NightMare is being active with his Adepts and keeping the Lings of Dark back at home. Meanwhile, NightMare is throwing down a bunch of gateways and didn't throw down that Forge. Just like how NightMare took down Ragnarok, this is looking to be another 3-base all-in. We'll keep an eye on that gateway count to see if it does go higher.
I love this from NightMare to... Wait. Yeah, 2-base all-in wasn't enough. So he's going for 3 base all-in. And if this isn't enough, well, actually he gets knocked out of the tournament, but he would have gone for a 4 base all-in.
Yeah, there you go. Look, it's something has to be enough here, and for the time being, we are working up towards 2, 4, 6 gateways, which is a pretty respectable amount here. There is no forge. We do have Blink finishing up in a couple of seconds. A proxy gateway is about to be set up. NightMare is going to be going for that timing.
And is Dark aware of this? He has eyes on the army moving out, but I'm not sure if that is enough of a tell. Has he spotted this pylon by the gold?
Ooh, he has not seen the pylon. The Lings are dancing with these stalkers. There is that proxy location that we were talking about. Another gateway is thrown down. NightMare is going to be very committed with this push. And Dark is cutting workers at 53. He's got a lot of Lings on the way. He's got Banelings on the way as well.
Yeah, he hasn't confirmed the all-in, but he knows something's coming his way, and he's taking it very, very seriously. Lings are slipping on in, trying to get a full-on surround, and this is why you want +1 melee Lings on creep with speed against Blink Stalkers. They blink, you run.
Yeah, at the same time, the wall across the map is not a wall. Another big difference here is that one Oracle died in the early game, if you remember, so we didn't have enough support for these Stalkers as the second Oracle almost goes down. Bailey's coming from behind, and Dark gets a full surround on this Blink Stalker army.
Once again, he gets a surround, yeah. You know, the Lings harassing the natural base, they get cleaned up, but now Dark is chasing down the rest of his army. A little bit of an overextension, feels like, but hey, you know, whatever Stalkers Dark can take out right now is gonna hurt NightMare way, way more than any of the Lings that he snipes.
Yeah, exactly. As NightMare is still committed, he does catch these morphing and Baneling, so he's going to be able to shut them down. The economy of NightMare is still not looking amazing, and Dark is looking to cripple that third base. He is taking a fourth as well. Dark, if he needs to, he can evacuate his third.
Yeah, but he doesn't feel the need to just yet. Dark really wants to just force the all-in, or secure the all-in here from NightMare, because he knows he's in a fantastic position to defend. Most of his queens stayed alive. They can provide anti-air against the Banelings, and there's not a whole lot these Blink Stalkers can do against this amount of +1 Lings.
Yeah, and mate, the Cybercore just went down. These Stalkers, that's all we're gonna get. We cannot morph in any more Stalkers across the map. The Lings, they bust into the natural. The economy is being crippled. NightMare cannot warp in any reinforcements, and he just has to end the game with what he has.
Which I want to believe if he has the perfect control, he can pull it off, but it's much, much easier said than done. All Dark really has to do is to catch up with these Stalkers as they blink back. And that's a lot easier to do when you have speed and +1.
It is easier to do with all these Lings. We even have the Lings after killing the natural base. It turned back around. GG gets called, and Dark will take the series 2-0.
With that, Dark will be advancing to the grand finals here of ESL Open Cup Asia, number 176. We have to cast PVZ. We got one PVT, but other than that, it's just PVZ here, unless our players decide to play random.
Yeah, we used to have the meme, you know, we are the CranKy Duckling casters and we must cast PvP, but today that meme is changing a little bit and it's all about the ZvP instead. Shout out to Dark though, as he did have a pretty dominant performance here. Game 1, great scouting. Here in game number 2, likewise, he was able to get an eye on at least the low worker count at the third base, and his constant Ling aggression was absolutely insane. Just keeping NightMare on keeping him on a timer, forcing him to stay on a timer. The window was closing as the game went on, and alas, NightMare wasn't able to force, or wasn't able to pull off his all-in. I do think a lot of it did also come down to his lack of second Oracle as well. We saw that the Lings of Dark were getting very out of hand.
Yeah, it was the major difference, right? In this series he had against Dark compared to the game he played against Ragnarok, where it worked out, is he didn't have those oracles to support the stalkers that were on the ground. Like you pointed out, that's one way of kind of making the Zerg player hesitate a little bit with their Lings getting a full surround. Is if they know they're going to be evaporated by Stalkers, they will think twice when they really do need to go. On top of that, there was also no stasis ward potential there or NightMare. He wasn't able to make use of the utility of these oracles. Instead, they ended up falling to Lings.
Exactly. And yeah, really impressive showing, an impressive performance by Dark as he advances onto the grand finals, and he needs to be impressive because Creator has been on fire. Creator was able to knock down Solar earlier in a 2-0 fashion, and mate, if you can bring down Solar, you can bring down Dark. To be fair, Dark and Solar are very different. Dark is far more aggressive, but we'll see if that's going to be enough.